Right. Let's give it a minute. I can't imagine it being a very busy chat. Obviously it's VE day, everyone should be out celebrating. So, who have we got in? 2 people. Hello. Why didn't it say who's there? Oops. So, Ben obviously wore a hat, because he always wears a hat. So Mark thought he'd wear a hat, so I thought I'd wear a hat. Don't normally wear hats, don't really suit me. It's actually the only hat that I've got, which I got last week, didn't even buy it. Normally hats don't really stick out like this, because they come a bit too far down, but I'm actually quite enjoying this hat. So I've just done Friday session, sweating. You can't even see the hat because of the back screen. So I'm going to jump straight in. We'll go from there. I've got notes. Mainly to make sure that I cover everything. Make sure I don't miss anything out. So I will refer to this. I think next time I'm going to do a little bit of PowerPoint like Mark did. Make it a little bit fancier. I'll stick this. So I'm going to give it another minute. See if anyone else jumps in. See if anyone's interested. Probably not, because you're not celebrating. Don't blame you. Completely understand, guys, honestly. I'm not going to be upset. Can I stick these on here? Yes. There we go, look at that. Right guys, I'm going to start. If anyone jumps in and drops any questions, I will answer them in this video. If you're watching this back, which most of you hopefully will do, then I'll jump back and I will reply to every single comment. Even if it's stupid, I'll reply to it. So, we're going to jump in. So. How many times can I say so? What I'm going to talk about is, I know Mark said it's nutrition based. I was originally planning nutrition based, but I always talk about nutrition. So I kind of wanted to make it a little bit different, a little bit newer, a little bit fresh. So I'm going to, I'll keep saying as well. You'll get that a lot. Me and Ben have spoke about it. We just can't help it. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about training today. You probably have heard the term mind-muscle connection. I know myself and Ben have definitely used it a lot, especially a lot more since obviously lockdown happened and we've all been training at home. So I'm going to kind of explain it a little bit, because I know that I definitely haven't explained it in any of my sessions that I've done, mainly because we've got a lot to do. So I'm going to explain it, break it all down. Hopefully you can then take it away and really use it and really develop in terms of strength and the way that you look with it. So I will refer to my whiteboard, I will refer to my little notes there, just to make sure I'm not missing anything out, because I do like to talk, move on, and then remember one thing and go back, so I want to try and cut that out and literally just talk to it in bits. So the main question, what is mind-muscle connection? What is it actually? Why are we referring to it? So mind-muscle connection is a conscious muscle contraction. So when you're lifting, you're consciously thinking about squeezing that muscle group. As simple as that. Chat's over. Enjoy. Oh, I'm only joking, guys. But that is literally it. So whenever we say concentrate on the mind-muscle connection, we are literally meaning really focus on which muscle groups you're using, where you're kind of pulling from. So it's basically focusing on that tension. So for bicep curl, I'm going to use bicep curl pull a lot in this. So for bicep curl, you're concentrating on that contraction and squeezing your bicep to pull that weight up to your shoulder. And it's the difference between active and a passive movement, essentially. So your active movement, you're consciously thinking about that, you're really pulling that weight up. Active, you just daydreaming, you talk to someone else whilst you're doing it, you're not really getting a good pump off it. So that's basically what mind muscle connection is. Which is why we kind of try and use it a lot, especially now that we're using more bodyweight stuff and lightweight stuff. So why we use it, it recruits a higher percentage of muscle fibres. So what does that mean? In turn, it just means that you're going to get greater gains. So the more muscle fibres you can get working, the more your muscle's going to fatigue, because it's having to work a lot harder, and overall you're going to get greater results from working those muscles a lot harder. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. That is pretty much why we use it, just to really fatigue those muscles out. I like to use it a lot for fatiguing muscles, and I know that I have said that before in previous videos when I have said concentrate on which muscle groups you're using, because you will fatigue that muscle group or muscle a lot quicker. You can even try it now. Let's try it now together. So imagine you've got a weight in your hand. You don't need a weight, you'll feel it. If you just passively move your arm through that motion, you could probably do it for a good amount of time without really getting fatigued. Now if you concentrate on contracting your bicep up so that your hand comes up to your shoulder, it's going to work you a lot harder. So you're almost slowing it down. So if I'm here, this is passive, I can move through it quite quickly. I can move it through it slowly and it still be passive. But if I now squeeze my arm, so I'm contracting my arm and I'm pulling up, working my arm a lot harder. So if I did this, I'm not going to last hardly any time compared to just passively going through with movement. So it fatigues you a lot quicker, and that's one test you can kind of do by yourself to kind of prove it, essentially. You can feel it's a lot harder, you're really squeezing a lot more. So all you're doing there is you're recruiting more fibres, which then in turn results in better muscle growth, better muscle development. So that's pretty much why we used it and what it is. This is how I'm going to walk through the whole chat, by the way. So now, the next bit is we have internal and external, which is where it can get a little bit confusing, but I try and break it down as easily and as simply as I can, literally what I've written on that whiteboard, just so it is nice and quick. The internal is the contraction specifically within your body. So that bicep curl again, you're thinking about squeezing that in, you're pulling that up to the top, that's internal. The external factors would be, say, I don't know if many of you use them, but you've got a leg press machine in the gym, obviously not in our gym, but in most of your commercial gyms you have a leg press machine where you sat down, you've got a big plate, your feet on the plate. Your external would be thinking about pushing that away from your body. Are you with me? So your external is pushing that away, your internal is you specifically pulling with your muscles. Hope that all makes sense. That's as simple as I can kind of get it. Another one where it can be a little bit of both internal and external is when you're squatting. So if you squat down, as low as you can go, your internal would be to concentrate on squeezing your bum, squeezing your legs and lifting your body up. Your external would be, imagine pushing the floor away rather than squeezing those muscles. So they're your two different types of factors. Internal has been scientifically proven to get better results. So if you can, always try and use an internal factor. So like I said, in your squat, you're actively squeezing your bum, you're actively squeezing your legs, and you're driving up to that top position rather than thinking about pushing the floor away. Just going to give you a bit of a better result. It's been scientifically proven. So moving on from there, I will say actually as well, this chat is probably going to be nowhere near as long as Ben and Mark's. Mainly because I don't want to make them too long. I want to make them quite quick and snappy and something that you can kind of take away and start using instantly. So now that we've kind of gone through them, hopefully you have gone through them with me just so you can really understand kind of where I'm coming from with the internal and external factors and why we do it. Let's just check how long we've been going for actually. If it lets me, about 11 minutes. Boom. So hopefully we're going to be about 20 minutes. So, the next thing that I want to talk about is cues. So we've got cues, this is all we've got left. Cues, time and attention, distractions, and then, I couldn't even read that then, what to kind of take away from this chat. So let me just adjust my notes. Just because I don't want to miss anything out. Let me make sure I have read it, everything. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, I just don't want to go back on myself because I don't want to confuse you guys anymore. Because it can be a little bit confusing when you dig a little bit deeper into it. So I want to make it as simple as possible. So, using cues. So these are a great way for you to really understand your body, really understand movements. I use cues all the time, not just for members, but for myself as well. So whenever I'm training or whenever I'm doing anything, I'll kind of run through it in my head, how it should be and where I should be feeling the movement, essentially. One thing, my favourite one, I always get everyone in the gym with this, is with RDLs, I'll ask them where they're feeling it. Obviously, you should only feel it in the back of your legs. If you feel it anywhere else, then we'll look at form. So one thing that I like to do, RDLs is a great example. So, I'm squeezing my back. So what I'm doing here is I'm pulling my shoulders back, so my chest out, and I'm pulling down, almost as if someone's going to try and tickle me from behind. I'm going to stop them. From there, obviously we would normally have a bar in the gym. Slight bend in the knees. Yeah. As you're driving your bum back, this is where you need to focus on with the muscle groups. So you're driving your bum back, and you're feeling it pull to the back of your legs. Yeah. From there, what you're then going to do is you're going to squeeze your bum, aren't you? Stand back up. So that is when you're using, that is actively going through that motion, rather than just sticking my bum back, firing it back up. I could do this motion all day, and I'm not going to get very fatigued. Whereas if I control it, slow it down, feel it pull, and then squeeze, consciously squeeze my bum up and in, it's going to work me a lot harder. So that is one kind of cue that I would use. So I'll break everything down, so I go really, really slowly through it. So you can do this at home, so if you're not doing the videos, or if we kind of just rush straight into it, because it can get a bit tedious us repeating ourselves for you guys, then just work through that one. Shoulders back, squeezing. You should be able to feel yourself squeezing your back. Dropping back, you should be able to feel it pull. You're still squeezing your back, so you're still squeezing in your upper back. Squeezing your bum and through. What you'll find there is, because you're concentrating, you will automatically kind of slow it down. So that's one cue. The reason why I'm bringing cues into this, because it might seem really bizarre, because we obviously tell you cues and we'll correct your form and stuff like that. But one thing that I think, and I've done a little bit of research as well, is if you kind of master the cues bit by bit, your lift or whatever movement you're doing will be greater, and you can concentrate on everything a little bit more. And it gives you that little bit of understanding as well of why we do certain movements, so why we do RDLs, and where's your bum, where's your hamstrings. And it gives you that little bit of a, what's the word, like almost like self-development, just to kind of work through that motion. Let's see, yeah, RDLs. So what you can take away from that straight away, try different positions. Another great one is a press up. So like our squats, where you have the option of either thinking about pushing the floor away, thinking about squeezing your bum, driving up through your legs. Same with press ups. One thing about press ups is getting the form right, just so you don't injure your shoulders. I'm not going to go too much into it. Maybe on another video, if people are interested, I will do kind of the correct press up form, just so you don't injure your shoulders. But as you drop down, if you slow that movement down, really concentrate on what movements, what muscles are active. And again, if you driving through, rather than thinking about pushing the floor away, if you're pushing through, driving through with your chest, you're going to get a lot more chest activation. So there are two examples that you can use at home. When we get back into the gym, I'm going to throw this one in just because I think it's a really good one, and it's really helped this person out a lot. So Andy Boothie, I'm sure you won't mind. I was in training last summer doing bench, and he was in doing bench. I said, do you want to do some stuff together? So he was like, yeah. So we jumped in together, and what we're doing is we're doing flies. So when you lay on your back, you're dropping your dumbbell out to the side, you're driving back up, but it works the chest. I can't remember what, I think he had 10 kilograms and he was just working through. And I was like, I just don't really feel it, I feel it more in my shoulder. So I was like, right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to drop the weights down to 5 kilograms. As you drop back, I want you to consciously think about squeezing your chest. You're pulling up and in through there. And I tell you now, obviously with everything else that he's done, he's developed massively. But to this day, he'll still pick up those lighter weights and he'll still actively work through that motion. So there's kind of your cues. Not really much about cues, it is just really thinking about what you're doing, why you're doing it. Which again, for you guys, is a little bit easier for you because we will tell you. But if you're kind of training at home, training your own time, they are really beneficial because it allows you to understand your body a little bit better, understand how you can move a little bit better. So that's all I kind of wanted to talk about with cues without going on too much. Ooh, I don't think it's going to be 20 minutes. So, the next one, time under tension, is going to be great now. Now that we're all doing bodyweight exercises or we're doing lighter weight exercises, time under tension is key. And it also allows you to again concentrate on those muscle fibres that you're using. So, for example, I can hear myself, it's annoying me. We're going to bring the bicep curl back in. So, no time under tension, I'm literally just working through the motion. Yeah? I'm passively working through. If I actively work through that motion, I'm automatically going to slow it down anyway, because I'm squeezing. What you'll find is, because you're squeezing and thinking, really concentrating on that movement, you want to slow it down, so you can feel every muscle. But then what you'll find is it also fatigues you even quicker, believe it or not, because that muscle is working for a lot longer. So why is that great? It's going to lead to greater muscle development in the future, just because you are working your muscles to the maximum, rather than just kind of passively working through the motion and not really getting anywhere with it. It's also going to burn a lot more calories, just because for us to move muscle requires a lot more energy than anything else. So if you had two people the same weight, one was just pure muscle mass, one was just pure fat, the one with pure muscle mass would require more calories to burn. No, that doesn't make sense. Require more calories. I'm trying to think of stuff here. So let me start again. Scrap that. So we've got Benjamin, pure muscle mass. Someone the same weight, just fat mass. Throughout the day, they both do exactly the same thing, nothing different. Benjamin would burn more calories because he has more muscle mass. You with me? So from that, if you're working those muscles a lot harder, you're going to burn more calories in turn, which also is going to lead to greater muscle development and burning a lot more fat, or burning a lot more weight off. Who hopefully that second option makes sense rather than the first one. But basically, the more muscle you have, the more you're going to burn. The more you use your muscles, the more you're going to burn. So it is a really good way to manipulate how many calories you're burning within a session. Boom. I'm gonna leave that as time and attention. The main focus is just it allows you to concentrate on which muscle groups you are using or what muscles you are using. I'm not going to blab on any more about that. So, if you were to take this away, where and how would you start? The first rule is turn off every single distraction you can. So that means your phone, your TV, your kids, anything. The main reason for that is you can't get distracted. You can literally only think about what you're doing. So if you're slowing it down, you have nothing around you, no sounds, no anything. All you can think about is what you're doing. And maybe your own kind of thoughts, but let's not get into that because they might be anyway. Obviously, from that, what I'm saying is if you have the TV on and you're training, your movements might turn from active more to passive because you're a little bit more intrigued in what's going on the TV rather than what you're doing. It's simple as that. So again, it's quite straightforward, no distractions. The more you focus on what you're doing, the better it's going to be. Over time that will develop, so you might be able to have maybe your phone on in the background or your TV on in the background or whatever. But if you're just getting started, the main focus is get rid of all distractions and really focus on your muscle groups. One thing that I do like to do, as sad as it is, I like to have a bit of a play about with certain movements. I also like to consciously contract my muscles. Not just to be like, oh look at me, but just because it just helps develop that mind-muscle connection a little bit better. So I'd be stood there, I'd squeeze my bum. Not only is that going to help with my mind-muscle connection, it's also going to help with my posture. So if I'm consciously thinking about squeezing my bum, it's just going to naturally or become more natural and more passive. I can still think about it, but the more I do it, the more I'm likely just to do it without really thinking about it. It also allows you to kind of work through different movements. So, for example, my favourite one for warm-up is whilst I'm doing squats. So, either body weighted or with a light weight, I squat myself down as low as I can go. Now I can go quite low, and it all depends on your mobility, but if you squat down as low as you can go, and keep in good form, and what I like to do at the bottom here is just consciously squeeze my bum, relax, squeeze my bum, relax. All that's going to do, especially when we get back into the gym, when you're going heavy, it allows you to sit in that squat position, squeeze your bum, squeeze your legs, drive it up, just makes it a little bit easier because you're activating those glutes, you're already activating those muscles. So warm-ups are key for really using these. Obviously you don't need to use them too much, it is just to activate those muscle groups a little bit more. You don't want to fatigue yourself out too much with that. So that's I kind of rambled on there a little bit with the no distractions, but get rid of all distractions, just have a bit of a play about with contracting different muscle groups to contract maybe your left glute, your right glute. Practice maybe just that curl one. Practice squeezing your legs, squatting yourself down, squeezing your bum. It is quite a tricky one, that one. It has taken me a little bit of time to really develop that one. When I first thought about doing it, I did really struggle. It was really unusual and just felt really weird. But get yourself in that position. Sit in that position, get yourself comfy as low as you can go. Just squeeze your bum, relax it. Squeeze your bum, relax it. And then next time you come to your squats, squeeze your bum as you're driving up. Squeeze your bum at the top, you're already in line. Rather than thinking, oh, best drive up, and then squeeze your bum at the top. Consciously squeeze throughout. Fatigues your bum a lot more, you're going to get a big ass. So that's turn off distractions, and that's kind of what to take away from it as well. So go away and just kind of practice certain movements, whether it's your press ups, whether it's your squats, and just really think about what muscle groups you're using and where you're kind of pulling from, if that makes sense. So again, your bicep curl, your RDLs, your squats, anything you're kind of doing, really concentrate on your muscle groups. One that I've done recently is concentrate on my abs in ab work. Tell you what, it is tough. It is very tough to try and do crunches when you're thinking about contracting in your abs for a long period of time. Give it a go. Give it a go and see how you find it. But guys, hopefully you can take something away from this. I've tried to keep it quite short and compact. And it is one of those where I have probably repeated myself quite a bit, but it is quite a simple but can be confusing subject. So take it away. Everyone's going to benefit from it. You're all going to really benefit from this. So if you can apply it straight away, definitely try and apply it straight away. Guys, any problems, any questions, just drop me a comment. If there's anything you really want to know about nutrition, then drop that in the comments and I might incorporate it into another chat. I'm going to try and keep these away from nutrition, just because I feel like I always talk about nutrition. I'm always talking to people about nutrition. So I want to kind of go more into the training side, just because not many people really listen to me talk about training. So if there is something really specific about nutrition that you want to know about, and that it seems like quite a lot of people are kind of with you, then I will put a video up for one of these chats on there. But guys, hopefully everyone is enjoying the day rather than listening to me rambling on. But hopefully you can take this away, you can really get some good results with it. And I think that's pretty much it. Not really much to it. Just think about what you're doing. Simple as that. It's easy to put. Just think about what you're doing. Boom. Right guys, I'll see you next week during videos, but I'll be next Friday doing another chat. But like I say, if you want it nutrition based, I can do it nutrition based, but I'm going to try and go into a little bit more training or a little bit of a fun fact just to get the discussion going. But guys, I'm probably not going to wear this hat again because it's my hair going really weird. But guys, I don't want to say bye, I love you all too much. I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully you can really get a benefit out of this, guys. Bye bye.